Welcome back, Officers Republic. It's your Coruscant Honorable Police Chief APGAINS here. You guys wanted to know the 8 most important teams in Galaxy of Heroes that every single player should have. If you guys like this video, subscribe. It's Jumbo PP June. We'll try to get 20,000 subscribers. If we do, I'll throw a pizza party. I don't know how I will get you guys pizza, but we'll have a pizza party like for Ballsack Bugs Bunny. Let's get into the video. All right. So I've beaten you guys over the head on stream with the Core 8 teams every single day, 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Come join Roster Restream to help you get your roster better. The Core 8 teams, I do like a little interpretive dance. I go like YMCLS, you know what I mean? So many of you guys, like this is, like I say, PETA has a kill on sight order for me for the amount of dead horses I've beaten, but so many people ask for this video, so I'm going to do it. Anyway, the Core 8 teams, obviously, are the 8 most important teams in Galaxy of Heroes, and especially now that Datacrons are coming to the game, I think this is even more important. So I'm actually, you know, kind of sad that Datacrons are coming, but kind of happy because it makes the farming guide a little bit more overpowered over other farming guides, so at least that's a benefit. CLS team is obviously your first main team that you're going to have. It's your first super team. You should have CLS pre-level 85. Han Solo you get through raids. Chewbacca you get from your bounty hunters. C-3PO you get a little bit later, and 3PO and Chewie you can use at like 2-3 stars. You don't need to invest too much in him. And this team will always get you max banners, always undersized. You don't even need C-3PO. It's amazing. It punches up your first super team. EP Vader Mara. Mara is a low star, low gear investment. EP, same thing. Vader should be your first relic for Zeta. You can throw whoever else you want on this team. I have Moff Gideon Thrawn because this is just like ultimate turn meter manipulation at 5 million GP. But even low gears with, you know, just a Vader, their kits work together so well that you can punch up or punch down or punch sideways or punch your mom however you want with this team, just because there's so much debuff, so much turn meter manipulation, so much damage, so much control. It's amazing. Padme team. The Padme team is a pretty easy team to get. This team down here is going to be your final stage bounty hunters, but your first stage bounty hunters is going to be like Bosk, Boba, Django, Dangar, and like Mando or Grief or whatever. You know what I mean? And you're going to use those characters, especially Django, to solo the Padme event. You'll get a 7-star Padme. You should have Anakin and Ahsoka. They're pretty easy. Their fleets are really good. GK you also get through raids, and Padme just kind of brings this team together so much. Very, very, very important to have this team in the very early game and in the mid game because they can punch up. They got good survivability. They can beat some things. They're great on defense. Just an all-around fantastic team, and of course they are important later down the line. We've talked about the bounty hunters. The bounty hunters are probably like the ultimate. They're like CLS level punch up and value and defense and offense. This team is amazing. I use it to, you know, beat gases and Darth Revens and help set up off-meta counters to Kenobi and stuff like that. This team is just fantastic. The Zam Omicron, if you're following the farming guide, should be your first Omicron. It's the best Omicron in the game. Grief, Bosk, Mando, or like this is just a filthy team. This team is, honestly, it's too good. This team is too good. If they ever get a Datacron, it's going to be criminal how powerful this team is going to be. And then we get into the Revens. I mean, no shock here. The Revens are basically the backbone of like every roster in the early and mid game. You need to have them. You need to have them before a lot of other stuff. They are incredibly important to the game. I don't think I really need to emphasize how important having a Darth Revan for punch-ups / defense and having a Jedi Knight Revan for longevity of the encounter plus counters plus offensive and defense viability. Plus it gets you Malak. You know, even in the early game, like you can split out, like you can see here, I don't have Bast to Lashawn this team. You can take Bast to Lashawn and have Bast to Lashawn be a leader. You can go like Jedi Knight Revan, you know, someone else, Jolie Bindo, and have a 3-man. You can have Bast to Lashawn Yoda and someone else have a 3-man. Now you have 2 3-mans. You've doubled your total number of teams. Increasing the total number of teams is the most important thing to get value out of your squads, but also to punch up. Because as we know in matchmaking, we never fight even opponents. We always fight stronger opponents. So having more teams out of less teams and going wider as opposed to taller is always going to be incredibly important. Same thing with Darth Revan. Like if you get in a pinch, you can Darth Revan Bast to Lashawn and use whatever. Like obviously this is the optimal team right here. This is not the team that I use. I don't have Marauder and I use Sith Empire Trooper somewhere else. I use like HK and probably Sith Empire Trooper and HK here. But you know, end of the day, you can use a Malak to solo Padme, or you know, I mean, you can distribute these teams into multiple teams and kind of increase their value. We're gonna take a puppy break because the puppy's about to bark and interrupt the video. She's like, "Oh, I want to go. It's so, oh my God, so painful, so painful. I want to not be here and I want to disrupt the video." The next 2 teams are pretty self-explanatory as well. They're General Grievous, Separatist Droids, and Gas. General Grievous plus Padme gets you Gas, which is why he's here, because you have to have him anyway, and he's got a capital ship, and this team beats Sith Eternal Emperor, and also is amazing on offense, amazing on defense. This team, I don't think anyone will deny that this is one of the best teams in the entire game, in the early and in the mid game. And then, of course, Gas is your best off-meta, your best non-GL character in the entire game, best squad, and is a stalwart on offense and defense. No matter where you need to use him, you can use him. Now, if you haven't noticed already, that's kind of the point of all of these teams. All of these teams, some more than others, can be used on offense and defense, get you usually good banners, punch up quite a bit, and help you set up victories over opponents who are a lot larger. Because when I was making this back in the day, the goal was that eventually, you know, when we would hit a GP number, we would always be number 1 in the world in our rank, right? We always want to be number 1 in the world in our rank. And now that won't happen because of the way the matchmaking system is. We're just going to keep going until we fight more and more higher level people. Oh, we got a puppy scream. Let's look at the puppy. Oh, puppy. Oh, no, guys, subscribe for puppy. So sad. What was I talking about? So yes, all of these teams can be used on offense or defense. Some better than others. CLS, as is, can be used on offense or defense, is fantastic. I would rather you use this team on offense. You can even split them up, go Vader solo, EP, Mara, and someone else. But at the, if push comes to shove, you could place this team on defense, and it's very annoying. Padme, of course, offense and defense. Same thing with Bounty Hunters. You use Aura Singh lead if you're going on offense. You use Bosk lead with, Boba instead of Aura Singh here, or Dangar or Django, or you know what I mean. You plug in a different Bounty Hunter, and you throw Bosk lead when it's on defense. Darth Revan, offense or defense. Jedi Knight Revan, offense or defense. General Grievous, offense or defense. Gas, offense or defense. These teams are designed to be the backbone of your roster from the time that you acquire each of these teams till the end of the game. They will never, ever really drop off value. The only team that really drops off value is Padme, because Padme goes into your Kenobi team. Anakin goes into your Qui-Gon Jinn. You go with Kenobi, and you kind of just go wherever, bounce around. But still, you're going to get like 2.5 to 3 years of viability out of this team, depending on how fast you farm. Every single one of these teams is good from the start of the game to the end of the game, will always retain their value, is flexible, and will help you punch up. These are the core 8 teams. For those of you guys who want a little, let's try our interpretive dance. All right, we got C, L, S, and EP, Vader, and all right, I'm not a good Imperial. And P for, how do you make a P? P, I don't know. I'm inverted. There we go. P, and then how do I make a B? B. Yeah, see, I'm inverted on this camera and on my screen. Like I'm like working in 4 dimensions right now, trying to figure out how to do this interpretive dance. But those are the 8 best teams in the game. Those are the 8 core teams. Those are going to be what you need to have to be successful from the start of the game to the end of the game. They'll never fail you. They're useful. They're valuable. You will never regret farming any of the core 8 teams. Thank you guys so much for watching. I've been APGAINS. Like, of course, for Ballsack, Bugs Bunny. Subscribe to help my ego. I'll give you a pizza party if we hit 20,000 subscribers. That being said, I love you. And oh, poor puppy. I will see you later.